Okay, this is the kids version yellow belt reading. Here we go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and count with me. 2, 3 and 4, 1 and 2, 3, 4. Next line. 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 1 and 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and last line. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, 1, 2, and 3, and 4, 1, and 2, and 3, 4. Very good. Let's look at reading number 2. We're going to add some 16th notes. A little slower for us. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2, 3 E and a 4 and 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 E and a 3 E and a 4, 1 and 2 and 3 E and the next line. 1 E and a 2, 3 E and a 4, 1 E and a 2 and 3 and 4 E and a 1 and 2 and 3 and big breath. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 and 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 E and a 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3 E and a 4, 1, 2, 3 E and a 4. Very good. Make sure that you count out loud with those, which means you might have to practice each measure 1 or 2 times in a row by itself. Let's take a look at number 3. Here we're in 3/4. Every 3 beats, when we count to 3, there's a bar line and a measure line, and we start over. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, and 1 E and a 2 and 3. 1 and 2 and 3. 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. 1 E and a 2, 3 and 1 E and a 2 and 3, 1 and 2 and 3, 1, 2 and 3 and 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 1 and 2 and 3, 1 and 2 E and a 3. Last line. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2, 3, 1, 2 and 3 and 1, 2, 3. Very important to start to look ahead. If you're right here on the music, you want to be looking up here as you're playing. Don't stare at every note as you play it. Gives yourself a little bit of, gives your brain a little time to sort of catch up. If something looks kind of hard, you won't snag and have to go backwards. All right, last reading assignment, number 4. Now we're in 2/4. We only count to 2. Start over. Ready, go. 1, 2, 1 and 2 and 1, 2, 1, 2. Next line. 1 and 2 and 1, 2. 1 E and a 2 E and a 1. Next line. 2. 1 and 2. 1 and 2 and 1 E and a 2. 1 and 2. Last line. 1 E and a 2 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 1 and 2 and 1, 2. It's going to take a while to get 1 E and a to come out of your mouth consistently without it feeling weird. That's it for the reading for yellow belt. Okay, yellow belt rock beats, number 1. The first thing you need to be able to do is get comfortable with this hand pattern. Right hand on top, 8th notes, 2 and 4 on the snare. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Because all the other beats are variations in the foot with that happening on top. So make sure that we're real good and comfortable just when you're without your drum set, crossing your hands and going 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Go nice and slow, about that speed or slower, and count out loud. Those are the 2 most important things I write on this page. So here's number 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Number 2. Ready? Go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Number 3. ready, go. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and number 4, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and number 5, ready, go. 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and come get a look at this bass drum over here. Make sure that you put your foot 3/4 of the way up the pedal. You're going to lift your heel, and then from this position, you get a little kick up, but not enough to come off the pedal. Always stay on the pedal. You're going to come up and stomp, and then you can rest your heel again. Yellow belt grooves and fills number 2. So the idea here is when we're done playing a beat and we want to move to a different part of the section, oftentimes we'll do the thing where we hit all the drums. That's a drum fill as opposed to a drum groove. Usually a drum fill is going to be a little bit shorter than this, but it's easiest to first learn it as a 1-bar example. So the first drum fill we're going to learn, 1/8 notes, starting with my right hand on my snare, going 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So by itself, it's going to be this. Nice and even. We want to dig into the toms really hard right in the center to make them speak. Drum fills should be a little bit louder than the drum beat, because once that beat drops out, if you have a tiny little fill in there, it's like the whole rhythm that propels the whole song kind of disappears, and we need to keep it going. So we will usually want to add a little more volume to our drum fills. Okay, number 1. In order to pass these off, you have to play a bar of groove and then put that drum fill in there and then another bar of groove. So you have to get into and out of the drum fill. Here's number 1, 2, 3, 4. You do that 4 times. Here's number 2. Number 3. Number 4, 16th notes all the way around. And number 5. So all of those have to be you have to put a beat in front of and behind each of those fills in order to pass them off. And that's it for yellow belt fills. Okay, yellow belt technique number 1, stickings. This concept is that we want a stream of notes that sound like they're being played with one hand. No faster, no slower, no louder, no softer, but we're switching up whether it's a right or a left. Could be 2 rights or 2 lefts. Okay, that's the first one. I'm going to play just the first 2 so you have an idea of how fast they should go to start with. 1, 2, ready, go. Right, left, left, left. Something like that. We want to make sure that our right hand isn't louder, or we don't slow down during the left hand. Bum, 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 around there. And you'll do each of these for like 30 seconds. That way you don't have to count how many times you did it. Just look at the clock. Last one. The next one is right, 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 left. Right, 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 left. These are all rebound strokes where we're just bouncing. You don't need to lock them down. Just let them bounce. And get used to moving multiple strokes with each hand. Last one. So that's stickings 1, the idea of playing 2 or 3 on one hand and still making it sound even. Now, accents 1. This is the concept of playing one note a little bit louder than the rest of the notes. So first we learned the rebound stroke. For an accent we need to learn a down stroke, where we kind of snap it down and we leave it about an inch off the pad. So the first one is 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Nice and slow. Think of it as quarter notes. Just 1 and then 2, 3, 4 little taps. Nice little quiet notes. Don't be in a hurry to play too fast. Really focus on contrast. Let me go left-handed here. This is number 2. You want that first note to be quite strong and firm, and you hang on to it, and then instantly you release that tension, and you have 3 little notes after it. We'll get into the other stroke types later, but for right now, it's a down stroke and 3 little notes. Very good. Moving on. Yellow belt technique number 2. So we have 3 exercises here. I'm just going to play the third one. You play it with me. You need to play it 2 times with 0 mistakes before I can pass this off. Number 3, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. Line 2. That's the same. Line 3. And the last line. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Start over. 4. 1. Second line. Third line. Last line. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Very good. Make sure you can do that with me at that speed. 0 mistakes. And lastly, yellow belt technique number 3. Last page of yellow belt technique. We have single stroke sprints. 8 eighth notes with this hand and 16 16th notes with both hands. Notice the right hand stays consistent once we start it. The fast part starts with the right hand. We're just adding a left hand in between every fast note, every eighth note. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, and go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, that's just a demonstration of what it's supposed to sound like. I don't want to play it that long, so you can scrub ahead and practice and then look at the next exercise. So this isn't a play along with me video for that part. Let's take a look at the double stroke exercises. Remember, a double stroke roll is 2 on one hand, 2 on the other hand. Single stroke roll, single hit per hand. Double stroke roll, double hits. And now we're going to practice, I guess this is called a double stroke sprint. Number 5. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Number 6, let's go 4 measures long, and we play each measure 4 times. Measure 1, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2, 3, 4. Bounce that first one or double it. Now next measure. 1, 2 and 3, 4. So now we're on beat 2. Last one. Now 3. 1, 2, 3 and 4. Single, single, double, single. Last measure. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4 and. Be sure you can play with me on this video at home with 0 mistakes before we try and pass that one off in class. That's the bare minimum of what we need to be able to do. Mostly that's hard in terms of keeping track of how many times we've done this second measure. So you have to pay attention. Okay, last exercise here. 7, you see 7 and 8, we introduced this concept where we play a single note and 2 notes with a single motion, like that. Okay, so it goes like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Kind of turn my hand sideways so you can see this a little better. Normally it'd be this way. That's the speed, and that's what that one sounds like. And number 8. Rest. 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 Don't play it too loud. So make sure that we're not doing this. The difference is I'm making 2 motions. There's 1 motion. 1 motion, 2 motions. Okay, so that is called a diddle. When we take 1 motion and 1 note and we get 2 out of it. And that's the end of yellow belt technique.